All right. So I'm going to be doing these Q&As a lot more, and I thought I'd start my first Q&A on my YouTube page out with my new signature model that just came out this year, the AJX Stealth. Let's get at it. First question here. Will there be a gloss finish or a sparkle finish on this one in the future? I am hoping to God that Jeff will allow us to do sparkle finishes on this guitar because they're hands down the best I've ever seen on the market. You could have an 8K camera. It's not going to do it justice. You got to be right in the room with these. They're incredible. The dimension, the depth to it, the detail. However, it being gloss and being sparkle at the same time, I'm not sure if we can do that. I don't prefer gloss, really. Him and I really agreed to have things be about what I'm about and what I'm doing. So satin finishes, let's hope for sparkle finishes in the future. I hope this still has a flame maple top like the other model, True Stealth Flame. Thanks, brother. So yes, at the premium level or the AJ spec level or the Al Joseph spec level, you can upgrade up to the premium spec level. That has the flame maple top that we do with the chambered body. That's the original one. My brand new one here, the Black Beauty here, is the exact same thing, just in black. So yes, you will have access to the premium model with that flame maple cap at the top with a chambered body. And at the standard level, you just have it painted through just like this. So this is actually my favorite one, to be real. Can it be an 8-string multi-scale? 8-string, maybe in the future if I'm riding on one. I'm sure Jeff wouldn't have a problem with making me one. It being multi-scale, it just gives me vertigo, you know? And plus, on an aesthetic level, I just really prefer the straight ahead look, up and down. So yeah, will I have your tone if I buy one? I love your lead tone. Thanks, man. You will. Yeah, I mean, granted, everything else is in order, like your playing and your discipline in your playing and all that stuff is concerned. Absolutely. I mean, these are American-made custom shop guitars made to my specs. So yes, everything I have access to, you have access to, my brother. Is that the Kiesel hip shot trim, and how much whammy abuse can you get away with, and what pickups are on there? Great question. So these are the Kiesel hip shot trims, okay? So Jeff works closely with the guys over at Hipshot to make their own proprietary build and look, shape, dimensions, whatever the science is that goes into these. These are strictly Kiesels. You can't get them on any other guitars. Incredible amount of flutter at the back here, which calls for really smooth vibrato action. I use it just like Floyd Rose tremolo. And no, I haven't had any breakdowns so far. I got like 13, 15 of these guitars right now. They all got these trims on them, and I haven't had any stability issues. Of course, you have this big honking block here on the back here that just keeps everything stable, allows for a lot of sustain and total balance, so nothing gets kind of caught up and feels like the vibration of the strings are getting caught up in the bridge. It's very cool. A lot of the resonance and transference of vibration is going through the strings, which is a good sign. So yeah, very stable, hasn't broken down on me yet. Absolutely love this trim. Super convenient with the locking tuners. What shape is the neck? Good question. So I would say this is more of I'm not even really sure what these different necks are called. I've seen C, D, whatever. Very comparable to a Wizard neck, only I really do prefer this because there's a bit more wood on it. It's a bit more solid. It stays in tune. It stays where it's at. It feels great in my hands with the 14-inch radius on here for chords and shred as well. Each of these are dual action truss rod with these, so you can go up for relief or back or leave it in the middle. I prefer to leave it in the middle with a little bit of force relief just to let the strings go ahead and vibrate as I'm going through. I don't want to get too much fret buzz, so you can really dial this thing in. And they're reinforced by carbon fiber rods on either side of that truss rod, so this thing is almost digital the way that it stays where it's at. And all my guitars, I have so many of them that I haven't touched in a long time that when I pick them up, I really just got to tune them and that's it. So very nice neck. This is the thinner neck profile that Kiesel offers, and it feels absolutely sexy. Hi Al, it was great to meet you at Connect. Question on the neck. I would have expected a 20-inch radius for the Stealth 7 strings. Why the 14-inch? Any specific technical reason beside personal preference? Cheers. It's just personal preference at this point. I'm a shredder. I love what a lot of these companies do with the flatter radius. It makes sense, right? The flatter the frets, the more you can be ergonomic, as they say. Honestly, I don't think there's much of a difference, and I think that you get a lot more out of a bit more curvature. It's not as curved as you think it is. It's just perfect right there in the pocket. What happens when you get them flat is that you can get the strings really close to the fretboard, but in my mind, I lose a bit of the harmonics and just the way that the strings kind of catch on the frets when I bend up and give me those harmonics when it just touches the fret there. So I don't want to lose any of that. I really love how these sound. I didn't want to fix what wasn't broken, so I'm just not going to change it. Can I find these in retail shops to try out? This is an American-made custom shop out of Escondido, California. You can only get them there, man. You can make them to order. I'm sure the guys have some sort of refund policy or whatnot. So just make sure you call the guys, 858 Guitars, talk to them a bit, get to know these guys a little bit, build up a rapport, and I'm sure they'll hook you up with something that you can feel really happy about. So no, you cannot buy these in stores. You have to order them straight, but trust me, you will not be disappointed. I'm curious about the process to get to the final model. What are some of the things that you tried that you chose not to have on your signature model? Number one is a bolt-on neck. Now, I had been a bolt-on neck guy for a while because I just don't trust lots of companies with neck throughs, okay? Neck through is the way to go, in my opinion, if you're going Kiesel. Just absolutely solid work. I was really surprised at that, and it really brought back my faith in neck through guitars. So no more bolt-ons for me. Another thing too is the locking nut with the Floyd Rose, you know, that whole kind of configuration. I've always wanted a guitar that can do a floating setup. I didn't have to worry about if the string snapped and I pass it back to my tech, that he'd be back there for an hour trying to unlock the nut and all this kind of stuff. Not that I'm against locking nuts or anything like that, but the convenience of just having this tusk nut here, have those strings glide right over nice and smooth with these locking tuners right here. They're 19-to-1 ratio, so I can get a really dialed in tuning, so it works great. The third thing that we did, kind of two more things actually here. Having this upper bout here, this pronounced sort of Telecaster shape, allows us to have this switch up top here. I don't like push-pull, and I don't like the switches anywhere behind the arm because it's just, if you've seen my playing, I'm switching a whole lot. So it's really nice to just kind of get this inline sort of thing here, okay? So super convenient. And the last thing is getting rid of the tone knob, okay? The tone knob sort of rolls off a little bit of the rawness of the pickup for me. Maybe it's highs, maybe it's high mid-range. I don't know what it is, but for me, I like the pickups to really bark. And plus, I already have these covers over top of all the pickups that I use. Those already roll off a little bit of the high end, okay? So if I'm getting really picky about it, these are things that I notice. But yeah, getting rid of that tone knob, I never use it, man. So yeah, those are the things that I chose not to do and to do this time around. What's the difference from this and the blue one? Okay, I think that he's talking about the standard models, okay? Now, the standard model guitars, the difference between this one and the premiums, at the premium, you have a lot more luxury, right? You've got that nice flame maple cap on the top that we kind of painted off to give that nice flame maple stripe, and that follows all the way along the body. You get gold hardware on the premium model. These are painted all the way over as well, so there's no stripe, there's no cap, and they're not chambered like the premium models. Also, you get an unpainted neck on the back here, walnut, maple, walnut, and you can get that configuration in 3, 5, or 7 pieces there with an unpainted neck on the back. I absolutely love how this feels. Honestly, like I said before, this is probably my favorite one out of all of them, to be real. Didn't expect that, but I absolutely love the simplicity and the playability of it. Absolutely bonkers. I can go on this guitar. Does it come in Southpaw? You're gonna have, that's a special order thing, I believe I heard Jeff say. So you're gonna have to call the guys, 858 Guitars, you know what to do, call the guys, have a chat. I'm not sure what the refund policy is on those because it's a lot of extra work, but call the guys and they'll let you know, okay? Do you prefer a maple fretboard? Absolutely. Yeah. After playing for 25 years, maple has an aesthetic lure to me. I love how it sounds up against other woods as well. Again, we're trying something I've never tried before with the walnut, maple and walnut in the back, mixed with that roasted maple board on the top. I don't know if you can see that, but super nice, man. And in person, the light just shines right through the grain, so it changes. Absolutely premium stuff. And then again, you can get this with a roasted flame maple board as well on the premium models, and they just look even more beautiful. So that's been something I've always wanted to do, and I don't think I'm veering away from that anytime soon, but we'll see. Any chance you can get it without the trim, maybe a hip shop? Okay, no, this is a signature model. I don't think any of my guitars have a stop tail bridge or some sort of fixed bridge configuration at all, okay? So you're using that tremolo when you get one of these, brother. That's just how it is. So this concludes this little extra questionnaire on the AJX Stealth Signature Series model. Go play with this in the builder right now. We got tons of colors and configurations and options available for you if this is something that you fancy. I'm telling you, once you get it in your hands, you're not going to be able to put it down, okay? The link's down in the description. I'll see you next time. And as always, shred happily.